The Immigration Story of Tanya Myers. Tanya was born on November 10, 1977 in the U.S. When she was 4 months old, she moved to Venezuela. There, she spent her life until she was 24 years old. She describes Venezuela as a gorgeous place. She lived in Caracas. Her house had the mountains and the ocean all within a 30-minute drive. In Venezuela, there wasn't war, but there was a lot of protest. She grew up coming to the U.S. Her family went to Miami in the summer. Tanya's dad was American, but she never thought she would live here in America. Tanya married Mark Meckler on July 24, 2002. Tanya and her husband met because they were in the same high school in Venezuela. The Jewish community in Venezuela is very small. They all go to the same high school. He's older than her, but they still knew of each other. After college, they reconnected because they both worked at the same company. They came to America because Mark was getting his master's degree in New York. On the plane ride here, she mostly took clothes, but when she got here, she had to buy winter clothes. But she also brought pictures that were close to her, but the majority of things she left. Tanya's father left 10 years later, but when he packed his apartment, most of their stuff never made it to America. Even though she is Mark, all her friends and all she knew was in Venezuela. When it was time to go back, there was a dictator named Chavez, and they didn't feel safe to go back. Unfortunately, no. Tanya doesn't have any of her close family back in Venezuela. Her first job was a cementing engineer. She worked in the oil industry in Venezuela. Her job was making sure the casing stayed in place. She had to design the job to control the well. Her job changed when she got to the U.S. because there are no oil wells in New York. One of her earliest memories in America is when she waited 2 days for it to stop raining. In Venezuela, it never rains for more than 10 minutes, so if she could wait to go somewhere, she would wait. She says when she got to the U.S., it was very hard for her to get a job. She got out of college for a few years, but her profession was unsuitable in the U.S. After this setback, she went into the advertising industry. The U.S. is better than she imagined because Venezuela is a third world country. The country's not really developed. There's a lot of poverty. Things don't really work effectively. Health insurance, public transportation doesn't really work. Here, everything works effectively. Here, she knows the subway is coming on the dot. Even though America is good, she still misses Venezuela very much. First, she says she misses the weather. The weather is always 75 to 80 degrees and sunny. Even though she speaks English a lot, who she is and what she is in Spanish. She misses not thinking about what she was going to speak in Spanish. Now they have 3 children. Alexander is 16, Nathan is 13, and Oriana is 6. Maybe she would move back, but only if Venezuela would change their government and things would really change. She's happy where she is today. She said, if I wasn't here, I wouldn't have the people around me that I do.